I think it's really important that we get our horses broke. By broke, not just being able to step on and ride them around, but being able to have control of their shoulders, their hips, their rib cage, their face, and essentially having control of their feet. If you start with a broke horse, then if you ever encounter any problems in the future, you can always fall back to your foundation of your broke horse and go right back and pick up where you were winning at that point.
I believe smooth is fast. Sometimes when it's all about the speed, then you lose a lot in your turns and it just gets really wild.
Fluent forward motion. I think that's so important. I think there's a lot of things that we can do as a rider to get fluent forward motion. One of them is to really teach our horses to drive forward through their turns off of our body without us having to pull on them as much. I really like my horses on the back side of their turns to really listen to the way that I turn my body. So when I turn to look at the next barrel, I want my horse's front end to follow it without me really having to crank on their face, because I think that's when they start to brace or elevate or get that resistance going on.
I think we let our minds get in our way a lot, and we think too much, we overthink, and that's probably the biggest mistake. When we feel pressure, even at the top, at the NFR, when we're coming down that alleyway, we want to win. And when we try to win, normally we override our horses and force things to happen, and then it doesn't happen. I always tell all of my students, my friends, my comrades, let it happen, and that is so tough. So one of the biggest mistakes that we can make is overthinking our runs too much.
I think the most common mistake everybody makes, even the pro girls, is kind of getting caught up into what's winning it and changing your deal to be as good as everybody and on their horses, and each horse is different. So I believe you need to stick with and be consistent with your horse and what wins for you.
I would say one of the most common mistakes that I see is people setting too early for their turns. I think it's good to get your horse prepared for its turn. I want you to sit down, but if you go and sit and roll your hips, I feel like our horses start into their turn too early. So if we can think about riding until the shoulder is cleared, driving our horses far enough into their turns that the shoulder's cleared, then they can stay smooth and forward, fluent and forward through their turn.
Speed is not necessarily what wins a barrel race. Yes, speed is important, it's a timed event, but I really feel that the old saying, smooth is fast, if we can let things happen and be smooth, the speed will come. And don't rush your horse. When you're training, when you're practicing, don't get in a hurry to get that speed or to get that 1D horse. You want to let things happen, let that horse mature at their own pace and bring them along. I probably take mine a little more slow, but in the end, I want a solid rodeo horse to end up with. I don't want a horse that'll go run at the top of the 1D and win something by a half second and then fall apart the next run. So really pay attention to your timing, where you're at, and how hard you're pushing your young horse or even your finished horse trying to reach your goal. Make sure that you're not overworking your horse.
The biggest mistake novices make are going too fast before they're ready, and they need to slow down to be fast. And lots of times they want to be in the 1D and get their horses doing bad habits when they really just need to step back and get consistent at a certain speed and then challenge themselves step by step. Maybe just on the first barrel challenge themselves, just building blocks. Everything is about building blocks.
Something I think, and it's something that I used to do, and I think a lot of novice riders do this, I think we let our horses lollygag a lot and we don't expect immediate response. So I think that's a big no-no, and I found it out later. If I'm asking my horse to do something, I want it to do it right now. So I need him to be really broke off of my legs and hands or whatever it is I'm asking him. So I would say go ride with someone or go get some lessons from someone that can show you the right cues to get your horses to be really responsive and to do things quickly.